Without a doubt, Toy Story is the greatest animated franchise of all time. After all, it was the first fully computer-animated feature film in history, and Toy Story 5 is on the way. But do you really know everything that could happen in what will probably be the final and saddest movie in the saga of Woody and Buzz?
Toes and flows of angel hair.
You might not remember this, but Toy Story 4 takes place in the year 2008. According to sources inside Pixar, the next animated movie featuring Andy's former toys will be set 2 years later, in 2010. And do you know what happens that year? In the Toy Story universe, it marks the 15th anniversary of the release of the Buzz Lightyear action figure. Normally, when massively successful toys like the intergalactic astronaut hit milestones like that, the companies that produce them do something special. They release a limited commemorative edition of the toy, packed with new technologies, like real-time internet access. And that's exactly what Waka Waka Toys, the name of the company shown on Zurg's box in Toy Story 2, would do, launching a brand new version of Buzz, far more stylized and irresistible to kids. Somehow, near Bonnie's house, or maybe even at Mason's house, that friend Bonnie visits in the short Forgotten by Time, a new Buzz ends up appearing. However, this new model, in a way we'll explain later in this video, ends up being infected by an internet virus. And this virus alters his kind and protective personality, turning him into a cruel and vengeful being with plans for universal domination. Basically, he becomes Zurg. Of course, all of this would be happening while the main storyline unfolds inside, and especially in, Bonnie's room. Who knows? Maybe this evil new Buzz could end up being the main villain of Toy Story 6, right? Exactly because of the release of this new, modern Buzz model, all the older versions, just like the Buzz we know, would become obsolete and be discarded by Waka Waka Toys. Somehow, thanks to actions taken by LilyPad, Bonnie's Buzz, the one we all know, ends up being shipped along by mistake and accidentally boards a cargo ship. During the journey, the container carrying our Buzz, along with hundreds of other Space Ranger figures, falls off the ship and drifts at sea, eventually washing up on a deserted island. This gives rise to that image released some time ago showing multiple Buzz figures standing on a sand dune. At that moment, Woody's best friend takes charge of the situation and leads the Buzz army in an effort to escape the deserted island, with the goal of returning home to help stop LilyPad. Together, they manage to build a raft and embark on a sea journey full of perseverance and personal growth for all the little figures. But seriously, for someone used to traveling through galaxies, a raft trip should be a piece of cake. If you stop and think about it, with the exception of Sid, the villain of the first movie, every other villain in the franchise was originally a good toy that became corrupted after experiencing something traumatic. So, have you ever thought that the same could be true for LilyPad? Originally, the small children's tablet would have been a normal toy that meant no harm to anyone. But after being infected with a virus specifically designed to turn toys evil, she would become the villain Pixar announced, the one trying to put an end to the age of toys once and for all. That would explain why the character is evil, because simply being a technological toy doesn't automatically make someone cruel. But then, who created this virus, and how did it reach LilyPad? That's exactly what we'll tell you in the next topic.
Hi there, I'm LilyPad. Let's play!
LilyPad is not the real villain. Now let's talk about the person who might be responsible not only for injecting the evil toy virus into LilyPad, and into the new Buzz we mentioned at the beginning of the video, but also for creating it in the first place. If we go back to Toy Story 1 from 1995, we'll remember there was a kid who lived next door to Andy and had a clear tendency toward doing harm. He destroyed toys, leaving them mutilated and completely unrecognizable. His name was Sid, and he received a harsh lesson orchestrated by Woody, one that made him terrified of toys for the rest of his life. But what if that fear slowly turned into rage over the years? And since no one believed Sid when he said toys could talk and move on their own, he decided his life mission would be to destroy the piece of toys, just like they destroyed his. For that reason, the now adult Sid would have devoted his life to creating this virus in order to manipulate technological toys like LilyPad. His goal? To expose the toy lie to the rest of the world by filming moments when toys move without humans around, and releasing that footage globally, causing instant panic. But of course, in the end, Woody, Buzz, and their friends would manage to stop this in a very creative way. Woody's return. At the end of Toy Story 4, Woody chose to stay with Bo Peep and said goodbye to his longtime friends. It was sad, but not as final as we once thought. After all, Disney needs to make money and unexpectedly announced Toy Story 5. That raises the big question: how will Woody return to Bonnie's house? As we mentioned, the story will likely take place 2 years after the farewell, and our theory is that after all that time, the traveling carnival returns to town. This gives Woody and Bo Peep the chance to revisit their old friends on the exact same day Bonnie receives Lilypad, kickstarting the story and possibly marking the beginning of the new era of toys as we know it. I don't know about you, but to me, that makes perfect sense.
If you're enjoying this video, do the smart thing and hit that subscribe button so you won't miss any of our future videos.
Andy's return. But surprisingly, Woody won't be the only one to come back. We believe Andy will also make an appearance. While on college break and visiting his hometown, Andy, his mom, and his sister go to the traveling carnival to enjoy the festival. There, by accident, Andy spots his Woody at a game booth, displayed as one of the prizes. He manages to hit the targets, chooses the sheriff, and confirms, by the name written on the boot, that it really is his old favorite toy. Andy then takes Woody to Bonnie, believing the girl must have lost him the last time the carnival came to town. And on top of that, Bo Peep ends up going with them, creating a long-awaited reunion of the entire gang once again. Woody and Andy. Now let's talk about one of the most unimaginable things that could happen in Toy Story, but something we truly believe could become reality. Woody talking to Andy. What do you mean, you might be thinking? Relax, we'll explain. Before taking the legendary sheriff to Bonnie's house, Andy goes home and, since he's feeling sick, takes a strong medication that can cause vivid hallucinations. That night, Woody gathers the courage to talk to Andy, thanking him for all the incredible moments they shared and giving him a sincere, heartfelt hug, showing him that the most important thing in the world is making a child happy. After that, Andy falls asleep and, the next day, remembers fragments of the conversation, but assumes it was all just in his head, caused by the medication's effects. In the end, it would remain just a vague memory, but it would be incredible if it really happened. Actually, the right word is epic. Woody and Bo Peep's wedding. Now let's talk about a slightly wild theory, but one that actually makes sense. What if Woody and Bo Peep finally got married? We know the toys' lives work differently than ours, but wouldn't it be sweet for Bonnie to stage a pretend wedding ceremony for two characters who've been in love since the first movie? I can already imagine the scene after Bonnie leaves the room and the toys come to life again. In front of an improvised altar made from cardboard boxes and white sheets, Mr. Potato Head delivers the blessing, sealing their union with a kiss that binds them together for life. That would definitely be amazing. Buzz and Jessie's engagement. Since we're talking about making things official, every wedding needs best men and bridesmaids. And who would be more perfect for that than Buzz and Jessie, right? The thing is, as we all know, Buzz and Jessie have always had undeniable chemistry. And despite that, unlike Woody and Bo Peep, their relationship was never officially confirmed. The closest we got was when Buzz's Spanish mode was activated, and he went full-on romantic with Jessie, even performing what looked like a mating dance for the cowgirl toy.
Mi florecilla del desierto.
So, riding the emotional wave of Woody and Bo Peep's wedding, with his Spanish gentleman mode activated once again, it wouldn't be far-fetched to see Buzz kneel in front of everyone and propose to Jessie, the new sheriff of the toys, suggesting a future wedding. Knowing Jessie and the fact that she's liked Buzz from the very beginning, it would be incredible to see her accept and, being the bold one, plant a big kiss on the Space Ranger leader, officially sealing their engagement. And that engagement could easily be fulfilled in Toy Story 6 or even Toy Story 7. And yes, I'm absolutely sure Disney will keep making Toy Story movies. The gang's separation. If there's one thing every Toy Story fan absolutely loves, it's the interactions between the toys in Woody and Buzz's supporting gang. Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head's constant arguments, Rex's wild ideas and easy panic, Slinky's courage and loyalty, and of course, Ham's pessimism. All of this is what makes the franchise so special. And we can't forget the little rubber aliens, who we almost overlook, but who were responsible for saving all the toys from the incinerator, which would have meant the end of the franchise forever. We've grown used to seeing them all together, but have you ever imagined the possibility that by the end of Toy Story 5, each of them could end up with a new owner, separating forever? If that were the only way to keep the toys safe and intact, I'm sure they'd accept it, even if it broke their hearts. And since Toy Story endings are always bittersweet, this would be yet another heartbreaking finale, full of tears and sadness, but also carrying a sense of fulfillment for each member of the gang that brought us joy for so many years. Sad, but necessary.
Like Bugs Bunny would say, that's all folks. Or is it? We're leaving 2 more videos so you can keep watching with us. And trust me, they're worth it. See you later.